Hey, what's up everyone? Tim here from Everyday Tactical Vids. Today we're looking at this, which is a new knife coming to us from Civivi. It's the Chevalier, Damascus steel, wood handle, classy looking everyday carry knife. Of course, I'll give you the details on it and tell you my thoughts on it. As soon as it arrived, I was like, yes, I'm liking that knife. They actually reached out to me and sent a couple links, and this is the one that jumped out to me. They do have a couple of different options available, same design, but different steels and different looks. So I'll talk through that as well in this video. All right, so for the other options, you've got the 14C28N steel, which I always associate with Mora because that's a steel that Mora has used in the past, I believe. And yeah, it's a good steel as well. It's, you know, it's not S35, etc., but a solid steel. Obviously, like I said, this one is Damascus. You can get it with micarta handles. You can get this one with G10 handles as well, and then you can get it with basically you know, your unfinished blade, not Damascus, just your plain steel, and then you can also get it all blacked out as well. So nice deep pocket clip. Let me run through some of the information that you probably want to know here, and then we'll give you the length, the weight, all that type of stuff. Nice deep pocket clip. Look how deep that thing runs. So really nice. Tip up for right hand carry. You can flip it around to the other side. There's the other little holes so you can pivot it around. It does have the flipper. That's the only way to open it. There's no thumb stud or anything. I guess you could use the fuller there a little bit, but it's a flipper. Not really fast action. It's not assisted at all, but just smooth overall. It does have their push button lock that they have improved over the years. I will tell you that the harder you flip it, if you really lock it in, the more it kind of, I don't want to say jams up, but really locks in the push button. So when you push it, it almost kind of pops, and then you fold this guy down. It does generally have enough weight that if you push it, you can kind of, you know, do that and then close it out with one hand. Jimping there on the back, I would call it probably a little bit above mild, but pretty mild jimping overall. You can see the little cutout there for your hand. Pretty neutral handle though. Let me do a quick end to end here for you. So let me see, get the camera to focus in there. There's your steel, there's your blade, your handle. Going back this way. You can see the little C there for Civivi. That's what that looks like. 7.87 inches from end to end. Your width this way is 0.75, and then your height is 1.25 inches from the blade here to the other side of the handle. 0.12 inches thickness for your blade, 0.52 for your handle, and 3.46 inches for your blade length. Got a caged ceramic ball bearing for your pivot, and the wood is called, I believe you pronounce it Quibortia wood. So for me, when I think about this knife, straight up EDC. Like, this is not a woods knife. This is generally how I feel, I would say, but anything with Damascus steel, when I look at it, I'm like, it's such a unique look. I don't generally think about it for like an outdoor knife. Like a fixed blade with Damascus steel, certainly that exists. But I just, like, in my head, Damascus steel in general, unless it's on a sword, Damascus steel is going to be an EDC knife for me. So there's a quick look at that Damascus. Just beautiful design right there. Rockwell hardness 58 to 60 on that steel. So like I said, there are other models. There's 4 total of the Chevalier, and you're talking from about 69 bucks up to about 90 bucks. And this one is coming in at $89.95. So I'll do a couple quick cuts here. Just the stat sheet that they sent with the knife, and the paper is a little bit damp, but you can see it comes really nice and sharp. The paper is a little bit wet. Where it's not wet though, it cuts nicely. There's a lid from a Going Gear EDC Club shipment, something a little bit more substantial, but again, once you get into the material, it cuts very nicely. I mean, look at that edge. I mean, really smooth. It's not tearing at all. It's just slicing through it. Let's see if we can get in over here. Yep. It does nice work. Slick knife. Real quick note here that, as is true with all the Civivi knives, you're going to get the basically the carrying pouch. And inside that, you're gonna get a couple stickers here. So you get those, you get the kind of general information about it, and then you get a cleaning cloth, and then you can see that's what the inside of the pouch looks like. So I've had a chance to use this one a little bit. Couple thoughts on it. First off, the tip, I mean, it looks, when you look at it, it doesn't look like an aggressive knife. It just in general looks like a classy EDC knife. But that tip is enough definitely to pierce, so you can definitely get into something and then cut through it. Blade length at just about 3.5 is nice for slicing. And if you're cutting any kind of cordage, if you have a really short, like, I'll give you an example, like the Kershaw Launch, the California legal ones, which are like 1.8 inches or something. I mean, I call it a tactical box cutter. It's really hard to like try to slice through something because the blade is so short. With that 3.5, you can definitely get into some cordage and slice, get some cordage and slice. And as it pulls along the cordage, it cuts into it. So I think that's a nice length. A caution on the handle is that because it's wood, you want to make sure you're taking care of it. So I would wipe it down often. It's not the type of thing where you want to, if you're out in a situation or a place, you live in a location where there's a ton of rain all the time, this may not be the knife for you, just because the wood handles, I think eventually they're going to swell. If you have swelling, it's going to affect the pivot, it's going to affect just the whole process, the lockup. So yeah, just be aware of that. If you're in a place where it's constantly raining or you're around water all the time, this is probably not the knife for you. Now, Ben from Ben Banters and nafs.com, he and I did a video that'll be released soon, but he was talking about how he's worked with Civivi and I.C.E for his banter, and he was talking about how they've improved their locking mechanism. So this push button lock has been improved in the more recent versions of the knives that Civivi has put out, so that's good. It does lock in nicely. Like I said, if you really like click it in like that, it almost feels like it's not an over travel, but it's locked in so tightly. Sometimes you really got to push in to release it and then swing the blade down. Like I said, the pocket clip is nice and deep. One thing to be aware of is that it is riding up against the wood there, so you may eventually get some wear on that part of the handle. Again, for me, because I look at this as an EDC knife and not a utility knife, I want to keep it as pristine as possible and still let it be a usable knife. So I don't think there's any workaround for that. Eventually but I guess you could bend the pocket clip out a little bit so it's not touching. But I think eventually you'll probably see a little bit of wear there where the pocket clip touches the handle. I do like the handles. I think they're beautiful. They are a little bit slick, right? So it's not G10, not micarta. You're not getting any kind of texture on it. Very, very, I wouldn't call it, it's not like slippery, but it's very smooth. So just don't expect to be like grabbing on that thing and bearing down and having it lock into your hand based on the texture of the handle. Price point for this is right at 90 bucks pretty much. I think that's reasonable for what you're getting. Some people are into Damascus, some people are not into Damascus at all. And so, I mean, if you're not into it, then obviously don't buy the knife. If you do like the style or the look of the knife, like I said, they have 3 other options for you with that 1428 CR M1642 hike, like that 1428 steel. I forget the name of it exactly, but yeah, you could pick it up, and that steel has worked well for me. I believe that's a stainless steel as well. So the Chevalier from Civivi. You'll see this in, check out my Instagram and Facebook feeds and stuff. You'll see this. I'll definitely be rocking this guy. Some knives I test it out, I check them out, and then I'm like, just not into it. This one, Class A. Class A. I like this knife. So let's hear your thoughts and your feedback on it. What do you like about it? What do you not like? Do you like Damascus steel? I'd love to have a discussion on that. People tend to have strong opinions. That's always interesting to bat around. But let's hear your thought on this knife from Civivi, and let's get the discussion started in the comment section now. All right, guys, thanks as always for checking out the videos here on YouTube. Please subscribe to Everyday Tactical Vids if you haven't done so already. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, check us out on Instagram, Tumblr, and Vero as well. More videos coming soon. Take care.